Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, our lives, whichever part of the country we live in, have virtually come to a grinding halt. Either our governments have imposed restrictions on our movements, or your businesses may have been asked to close down. Some of you may even find it difficult to run your life absolutely without trouble, even from home, like many of our colleagues. And some of you may be just spending your day trying to find out a hospital bed or an ICU or even medicines like Remdesivir or other medicines for your friends, family, colleagues, whatever. But unlike the difficulties we're facing, there is another class of people in this country. And this class is impervious to what you and I ordinarily go to. If something happens to them, testing not a problem, will happen immediately. If they want a hospital bed, no problem, will happen immediately. If they want to show their might, what will they do? They will go to rallies, they will allow congregations, they will not put any curbs on melas, on celebration of Vishu or Ugadi or, in various parts of the country. And it cuts across party lines, ladies and gentlemen, because show of strength is important. Not upsetting religious congregations is important because that's the mainstay of your political agenda. And of course, rallies are always important in election time. So they will not change their lifestyle. What happens to us is just incidental. Just like they decide everything on their free will, let me, really introduce to you this class of human beings called politicians. Yes, these are our Neta class. And our Neta class don't have the kind of problems that you and I face. They will mill around each other at political rallies. They will herd thousands of people to locations just to show their might. Kumbh will go on. Ugadi, as I said, will go on. Welcome to a new India, ladies and gentlemen. Even as we are trying to grapple with the onslaught of the COVID situation, here is a blame game also that is on. Mamata Banerjee feels that outsiders have brought COVID into Bengal. So I don't know who she's pointing fingers at. The BJP is hit right back. Why are you blaming Modi and Amit Shah? Why don't you look at Jaya Bachchan who's coming? So there is a blame game that, according to them, will settle all the problems of the common man. And cut to this, my dear viewers. I want to show you these visuals which are heart-rending. This is from the neighboring state of Uttar Pradesh. If we are in Delhi, neighboring state of Uttar Pradesh, this is the Yogi government administration, which is really ashamed of the numbers of bodies that are piling up at crematoriums. So what have they done to solve the problem? Yesterday there were visuals that were coming of large-scale cremations happening. So today they just built a wall. And this wall is now 6 feet high. Not that this will reduce the number of bodies at the crematorium. What it reduces is your ability to see what's going on behind the wall. So that is how problems can be solved. And that is not enough. Then look at the issue of availability of medicines. Remdesivir. My colleague needed Remdesivir. I have been waiting for 4 days. One person I've been able to procure from. The others are still waiting. And this is for us in the media. And I won't take away the fact that we possibly find it easier to call up people to seek help for our own colleagues. Anybody really not knowing the VVIPs in town may possibly find that extremely difficult to do. And then look at the numbers. I want to show you the numbers because the numbers really give the game away, excuse me, of what is happening at this point in India. In India, what we are seeing is the numbers that are coming in. There is a complete jamboree that is on. Ladies and gentlemen, Maharashtra Section 144 has been imposed for all regions except Pandharpur, which has been exempt from curfew because netas want to canvass and campaign for bypolls. So Sanjay Raut, in full glory, leads a campaign there and campaigns. After all, this is something that is his right. In West Bengal, a Congress candidate has succumbed to the coronavirus, but there is no end to the election jamboree. All parties are in campaign mode. And Mamata Banerjee has, of course, come up with an alternative which says that the Election Commission must reduce the phases and complete the rest of the elections in just one phase. And, of course, the BJP is saying she doesn't want the deployment of central security forces. So they're worried about the elections there. In Uttar Pradesh, cases are at highest, but the state will go ahead for a 4-phase panchayat poll because that is important. Despite the fact that there are question marks over the number of tests that are being conducted in the state. The list goes on. Andhra Pradesh, that is also witnessing a massive spike, will go ahead with its Tirupati by-poll. Nothing should stop that because after all, the Lord is watching over all of us. And finally, Telangana, which has been pulled up by the courts for not conducting enough RT-PCR tests, is now not only accused of underreporting cases, but will also put its focus on 2 municipal elections happening there. But there is more breaking news coming in. And breaking news coming in from 2 states. Gujarat, where the Gujarat High Court has... first, let me go to Chennai. Just as elections conclude there, suddenly the police wakes up and decides to put curbs and restrictions. Excuse me. That is Chennai for you. And restrictions come in. Elections are over on the 6th of April. So 15th of April is a good time to put curbs on. So what if the numbers are completely beyond control? And look at Gujarat. The Gujarat High Court has to come in and make an observation and state that the cases that are being reported are not real. They are not the actual number. There is a lot of gap that is being shown between the actual cases and the reported cases. And that is the statement that's coming in from the Gujarat High Court. And this is happening in the model state of Gujarat. So, ladies and gentlemen, the legitimate question is, are netas paying lip service to the war against corona? That's the question that impacts every citizen in this country, and that's the question we're asking on the News Hour tonight. And our hashtag, India versus COVID Netagiri. That's the hashtag and the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me tonight is Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Joining me tonight, author, Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst, Riju Datta, spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress, Gaurav Bhatia, spokesperson of the BJP. I also have with me very, very famous Dr. Naresh Trehan, Suhail Seth, consulting guru, advertiser, call him what you will. And of course, we also have with us on our show tonight representative of Kabir Suri, representative of the Indian Restaurateurs Association. My first question goes to you, Dr. Naresh Trehan, and I want to ask you, we're still in some sort of campaign mode in many parts of the country. To say that West Bengal is the only part of the country where elections are happening may be wrong, because there are panchayat polls, there are municipal polls, there is a by-poll happening in Maharashtra. So Maharashtra has the worst situation on COVID. But one area is kept section 144 free because campaigning तो जन्म सिद्ध अधिकार है, ये तो करना ही चाहिए. And at the end of the day, we have fines for all the common men who do not wear their masks. I'm not against masking up. All of us should. But I'm saying, is there any fine on the netas? Do they ever pay up? The Norway Prime Minister was fined. I mean, do we see any netas being fined in this country, or are rules and laws only meant for the public and not for the powerful?
So, Navika, I am a doctor. I can comment on medical questions. Any political questions, you have a very good panel, you can pitch to them. I don't know what is the compulsion of the government, what the rules are and how they enforce them, but I can surely contribute on the medical part of this whole environment. So you can come back to me anytime with any questions related to healthcare.
So Dr. Trehan, tell me, are citizens only responsible for the growing graph of infections, or are these rallies, these Kumbh Melas, the celebrations of Ugadi also responsible, because these are congregations of people that are happening, whether at political rallies or religious celebrations? They are being allowed by the state. So I want to ask you, are they not the reason for the surge that we are seeing in the second wave of COVID?
No question, they are hugely contributing to this surge, and the surge is still to come because many of these things are in process right now. So Kumbh is going to go on for the month, Ramadan is here, you have the elections going on at every level. So all these things will definitely contribute, not contribute little, but hugely to this whole surge that we are seeing today. Of course, the citizens also have indulged in many activities like weddings, big parties, any event that people have congregated for. Those things have also triggered it off, because the people actually did not realize that the virus is not gone. Just because the numbers were getting better, we lost that opportunity of actually eliminating it by not actually following the 3 cardinal rules of fighting the virus, which every one of us has to do, and that masking, distancing and hygiene cannot be discarded at this stage. We have warned all along that it will stay with us till the middle, at least, if not the end of next year. So till everybody is vaccinated, till the numbers start coming down and you are not able to, not enough critical mass left to infect, that means that herd immunity, we will have to exercise this caution for that period of time. So get used to the masks. Do not wear them. Everything, we know it's very effective weapon. And we proved it the last time. When with the lockdown and post-lockdown, we all went into very strict COVID behavior, we were able to bring down the numbers. If we do not do it now, these numbers will keep multiplying, and we don't know. There are some models which say it will go to 500,000 a day. Can you imagine the burden on the healthcare system? I'll tell you what the situation is. People are panicking, they're running to the hospitals, and there are people who are very sick who are coming to the hospital. The doctors are working day and night. The hospitals are doing what they can, because if they don't have a bed, they can't do anything. And you see pictures of people suffering outside, people dying outside. It's not the fault of the hospitals or the doctors. It is the situation that has become like that. So it is like a war. It's like absolute battle against this invisible enemy, like we would get together to fight an external enemy on our borders. We are the doctors and the healthcare workers, and the frontline workers are the army. We are working. The hospitals are doing what they can. Supplies are under strain. The hospitals are under strain. So unless everybody intervenes, everybody realizes their national responsibility of being a responsible citizen and go down, lock yourself, personal lockdown. The three mantras of COVID prevention: testing, tracing, and then locking down hot areas, not the whole country. And then again after that, vaccinate, vaccinate, vaccinate. The government has announced some measures recently about allowing vaccines to come from outside. That's a very good decision. It will take time though. And there is indigenous production is going to go up. Sputnik has been added. Sputnik will also provide, very soon we'll have 11 crore doses a month. We need to reach close to 20 crore doses a month, and then we will be in a position to lick this terrible infection. This surge has to be contained.
Well, well said, Dr. Naresh Trehan. But, it's business as usual. What's happening is, look at the crematoriums. Who's going there? The common people. So build a wall. What do you see on hospitals? In hospitals, government hospitals, 2 patients on a single bed. There are people on stretchers. The situation is out of control. So, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, is there anybody in this country who actually advised citizens that a second wave was around the corner? Did we preempt any of this, or did we just think that सब कुछ इस कंट्री में वैसे ही चलेगा because it's business as usual? Dr. Anand Ranganathan.
Yeah, good evening, Navika. There is a hypocrisy wave on, and all politicians are refusing to get vaccinated. Any public gathering, social, political, religious, is a potential super spreader event during a viral wave and should be banned, period. But while I call for an across-the-board banning of these events, what I find inexplicable is that those calling for a ban on Kumbh Mela, for example, are totally silent on farmer protest gatherings and the Sar Tansuda rallies, like the one that happened in Bareilly a few days ago, where lakhs congregated asking for the head of the Hindu priest. The Congress that wanted political rallies banned just held one yesterday of Rahul Gandhi in Bengal. Shiv Sena, as you said, held a huge rally in Maharashtra yesterday. No one is observing COVID norms in these gatherings. It's crazy. Now let me specifically address Kumbh, Navika, because the media is focusing on it. As I said, it should have been banned. A negative COVID report for entry means nothing because an RT-PCR test has a 20% false negative rate. So if, for example, 2 lakh people are found to be COVID negative and COVID prevalence rate is, say, 10%, we'll have 4,000 COVID positive pilgrims in the gathering. And that is exactly what is seen. Yesterday, 1,100 people tested COVID positive at Kumbh. Finally, to those who say this is alarmism and scaremongering, as those states with no elections like Maharashtra and Delhi have much more COVID positives than those states with elections like Bengal and Kerala and Tamil Nadu, let me provide a few logical explanations for this supposed anomaly. Number one, this could be because testing numbers in election states are much less than non-election states. For example, Maharashtra tested 2.5 lakh people yesterday. Bengal, 43,000. Kerala, 65,000. The more you test, the more positives you find. Number two, compare each state not with other states, but rather with its own first wave numbers. And you will see that the numbers are rising alarmingly everywhere, election as well as non-election states. Tamil Nadu and Bengal, for example, are nearing already 100% to their highest level in the first wave. And we are just beginning the second wave. The virus became entrenched in every state and has entered the second wave in its cycle. Maharashtra and Delhi were comparatively very high to begin with. Number three, with low virus reservoir in election states, rapid vaccination compared to non-election states would further lower the comparative numbers. So please don't get careless thinking cases are only rising in Maharashtra and Delhi and not in Bengal and Kerala and Tamil Nadu. They are rising everywhere. Mask up, adhere to COVID norms, as Dr. Trehan says, and vaccinate yourself to save your life and that of your loved ones.
Well, it is very clear, and I want to bring this question to the political class. Gaurav Bhatia, very, very many times we have seen that, states are saying we are not getting vaccinations. In fact, what was running today was Mr. Rahul Gandhi's achievements, that he gave 2 suggestions. One which stated that vaccinations of all, countries should be allowed to come into India. And the second, that he wanted the cancellation of board exams. And both have been followed by the government a little late, possibly after the damage has been done. So actually, the guy who's really responsible for some of these reprieves that have come our way is Mr. Rahul Gandhi. I want to ask you, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, has the government erred somewhere? Somewhere, because vaccines were centrally controlled. The government was in the driver's seat last year and took us out of that entire trial by fire period of the COVID growth, the way the decisions were taken, the way the excess capacity was built up. And finally, we reached a situation where complacence set in. This time around, in February, we understand several of the extra capacities that were set up were even dismantled. Clearly, the government did not expect the second wave to be of this magnitude. So have mistakes not only been made by states but the center as well in terms of the advisories that should have come out in time?
Navika, I'll answer on Rahul Gandhi as well, but I think first we should deal with the more important issues. And if I ask myself a question, as the government, and when I say the government, the central government as well as the state government, done enough for the people? The answer cannot be yes, because till the time we can save every single human life, the answer will never be yes. But speaking for the central government and for the Bharatiya Janata Party and for the state governments headed by the Bharatiya Janata Party, if the question is posed, have they been sincere in their effort in ensuring the best for the citizens? The answer would be yes. And why do I say that? Let me just give you some numbers. When we started this fight against the pandemic, there were only 1 or 2 testing labs. And as of today, in a very short span of time, we have been able to get at least 1 testing lab in each district. The number of tests then 1 year back was around 4,000 per day. Today, we are testing around 12 lakh people every day, which needs to be further increased. Invention of vaccine, discovery of vaccine takes around 10 years, sometimes 5, if the efforts are very, very fast and genuine. But this time and within 1 year, we have been able to have 2 vaccinations made in India and 1 more permission to Sputnik. Now, what does it show? The effort.
But Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, let me play out the visuals of the rallies that have been held by senior leaders of your party. Let me play out the visuals of the Kumbh Mela that have been allowed by the Uttarakhand Chief Minister. Let me play out the visuals of all these super spreader events which will ultimately lead to multiplication of the number of people who are infected with the virus. Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, where is the sense of responsibility? Shouldn't political leaders be setting an example for the common people? If the common people have flouted norms, shouldn't netas be making that example? What are we seeing? Just look at these visuals. I mean, are these not super spreader events? And it is a campaign for us here on Times Now. Who is allowing these super spreader events, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia? Will somebody respond on this? This is not the time to pat your back.
I am not patting my back, and I promise you I'll respond to the super spreader event as well. But now give me 2 minutes, because there are some very important points to be made. I think, Navika, as a journalist, and this is only a request, otherwise I know you are free to have your own editorial line. When you pitch the political class against the citizens and you say us and they, I think you are wrong. I will tell you why. Because questions can also be asked to the media. Just 3 days back, there were channels who were actually having pan, openly without a mask. I have seen channels having open shows where there is public. But the point here is that unitedly, we have to fight this battle and we have to ensure that we emerge victorious. My point here is, now please, Bhavika, on the super spreader. Today, Mahamadaleshwar Kapil Dev is no more with us. So therefore, you are raising a very valid point, and I have no qualms in saying that we should definitely control these super spreader events. But at the same time, don't just restrict it to Hindus. Let us also talk about the month of Ramadan, where people are offering namaz still.
अरे भाई, आप सरकार में मैंने हिंदू मुस्लिम की बात की. Gaurav Bhatia, did I speak about Hindus and Muslims? Gaurav Bhatia, in Uttar Pradesh, in Uttarakhand, the numbers are scary. 1,700 is the number that comes out of the Kumbh Mela. Well, I don't believe it. I don't know about the rest of the country, but I don't believe that when there are 25 lakh people taking a dip, the number of COVID infections are only 1,700. I find it very difficult to believe. I want to ask you, आप हिंदू मुस्लिम पे इस पे भी आ गए? आप कुंभ मेला बंद करिए ना. आप सरकार चला रहे हैं ना, आप सेंटर में भी चला रहे हैं, उत्तराखंड में भी, सब कुछ बंद कर दीजिए. आप बंद कर दीजिए उत्तर प्रदेश में भी, रमजान भी बंद कर दीजिए, और बाकी की जो सेलिब्रेशंस है. I'm not, even the Sikhs, The Golden Temple visuals on Baisakhi Day. I'll show you those as well. This is religion neutral. This is about citizens of India, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia. You are in power in a majority of the states. Set the example. What prevents you from setting the example? And that's when I want to bring in Suhail Seth. Suhail Seth, Hindus, Muslims. Is that the answer?
No, Navika. Navika, in
Look,
fact,
I have a view here. It's a bit
I'll
controversial.
come back to you,
Taking off,
Gaurav. I'm getting in Suhail Seth.
Sure.
taking off from what you said, Navika, there are two ways of approaching this, and you've articulated that in your opening remarks. The first is we sit here and blame every donkey and every person and his mother and say, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. The politicians have repeatedly let us down, and we have become accustomed to that. But to blame only politicians for what we have inherited in virtue, in line with this epidemic, is also equally stupid. We had 1 year to ramp up our healthcare infrastructure. We didn't do that. We knew that this pandemic was not going to go away in a hurry. We disbelieved that. We citizens took it upon ourselves to say nothing's going to happen. What did the politicians do? The politicians love for people to believe that their lives are normal. Because if they aren't, then the politicians have to suffer. The politicians also went around telling people that live the way you do. You want to come to the Kumbh, please come to the Kumbh. You want to congregate here, please come and congregate. The tragedy is each one of us has fooled the other. And in the process, people are dying. Your colleague couldn't get a particular medicine, as you mentioned. The tragedy is far worse. The tragedy is, this is the worst time in India's history because we are being buffeted by internal enemies, and the enemy is us. Whether it is safety, whether it is precaution, whether it is adhering to COVID protocol, we are not doing anything. Our chief ministers respond in the most foolish manner. Kejriwal introduces curbs today, but allows cinema halls to remain open. I mean, you've got to be downright intellectually innocent to believe that.
And the weekly markets. And the weekly markets.
So here's what I suggest, Navika, through your Times Now Sustain camp. Number one, we've got to exhort people that if you don't mask up and if you're responsible for spreading this, you need to be penalized either fiscally or criminally put behind bars. But something has to happen. Number two, the government needs to support our healthcare and frontline workers by constantly castigating private health sector, pitting private health sector against public health. It's not going to be the solution. Number three, there are enough companies in India which are doing yeoman service in terms of CSR. We need to exhort those companies, if need be, incentivize them to pitch in. This is, as Naresh Trehan rightly said, a moment of war. When war is above us or on us, we unite like nothing else. Why are we divided today? Why are we making it a TMC versus a Shiv Sena versus a BJP versus a Congress issue? It is our issue. The more you make it a political issue, they will feed off us.
I'll tell you why. I have no desire to make this any Indian citizen versus another Indian citizen, and politicians are Indian citizens and they are leaders in their own way of the citizens of this country. They have been elected to be in power and that is why they are in the decision-making positions. You know why? You know why I'm raising the question of politicians? Because the rules are different. The rules are different because I'll show you visuals of many politicians not wearing masks. Not just when they're speaking, but at rallies, at places where there is. Look at the rallies. They could. For any political party which is going across, and doing political rallies and political gatherings, neither does the Congress follow these rules, nor does the BJP, nor does the Trinamool Congress. Nobody does. They could distribute instead of pamphlets, they could distribute masks so that people who are attending those rallies would at least be masked up. But no, they do not think about it.
But
they do not think about giving
journalist.
masks, and I'm sure the Election Commission of India will not look at masks as gifts. and
But
object
you
to
are
it.
you-
I am
you are a
saying that's
seasoned-
point number
you
one.
are
And
a
I want to
seasoned
bring in
journalist.
Riju Datta. I want to bring
one
in
minute, one
Riju
minute. I
Datta.
haven't
This is
You're a
because
seasoned journalist.
if politicians,
Last
people
year-
in power,
last year-
if MLAs, MPs fall ill, they will have access to medical care. The common man does not have that. That is the only reason. That is the only reason I'm saying the rules that apply to me as a citizen do not apply to the political class, and that is the problem that common people have. And it is true. If you think there is no difference, sorry, you may say they are elected leaders, they worked hard, they are representatives, they have to meet people, they have to solve everybody's problems. So if they have access to health facilities, why should we grudge them? No, we do not grudge them. All we are saying is people are in trouble. You act responsibly so that people can look up and emulate. And what are we seeing in Bengal, Riju Datta? Are we seeing that? It is now a political tamasha that is going on, because Mamata Didi will tweet and say, now wrap up the next 4 phases of election in 1 phase. But she will not ban rallies. I ask you, Riju Datta, instead of just talking about one solution, which is complete elections in 1 rally, why don't you say that I will take the moral high ground and not hold a public political rally which will have a congregation of people, which will lead to multiplication of COVID cases. Will you say that?
Navika ji, first of all, I will remind you, 3 days ago, on this time, on your show, with most of these panelists.
On your show, with most of these panelists, I made a suggestion before Mamta Didi tweeted today. And everybody jumped at me, and even you said, you want to finish it off in 1 day so that the enough forces could not be deployed. So, the bottom line is, ma'am, health comes first, health comes about politics, and I said that statement out of my own conscience. And we are seeing a surge everywhere throughout the board. And today, my political party, because I am a representation of a political party, we have taken a stand that we will give our standing to the election commissioner, that if you want to wrap it up and you want to finish it off, finish it off. If you want to stop the rallies, stop the rallies. We have no issues, but finish it off as early as possible. And I just want to say BJP couple of things, and I'm not going to go into a slugfest or a blame game. I'm just going to say, sir, please stop being hypocritic. Take it on your chin. When the vaccine was discovered, in your certificates, Modi ji's photo was there. He took the credit. Now when it is failing, because the people of this country has stopped fearing corona, that is the problem. People in the country thought they are above COVID. Now they are realizing, no, they are not. So,
Riju Datta, no homilies. I want to ask you, take a position. The CPIM has taken a position. They have said no rallies. They will not do rallies. Why don't you take a position? Why ask? बाकी सब कुछ में तो आपको इलेक्शन कमीशन लगता है बिका हुआ है. आप उनकी बात नहीं मानेंगे. Why on rallies question do you want to listen to the election commission? Why don't you say the Trinamool Congress will take the first step? We will not hold any rallies, whether the elections are finished in 1 phase or 4 phases.
But in Bengal, if the communists
Take a position.
Wouldn't attend.
Right now, as of now, Navika ji, can I speak? As of now, our stand is we are requesting the election commission to finish the remaining stages in 1 go. And regarding the rallies, I am sure my Supremo will take a call in a day or 2. We welcome both the decisions. We have no qualms about it. Health comes first. Health above politics.
Gaurav Bhatia, no immediate banning of rallies by Trinamool Congress. Will you set the example? Will you and your party set the example by saying no rallies, because this endangers people's lives? The same people who you are asking to vote for you.
Navika, just give me some time, because I need to answer a few things that you have remarked upon, and also what Riju said. First of all, what is hypocrisy? Hypocrisy at its best is when Mamata Banerjee says that in West Bengal, COVID is spreading because of outsiders. I don't understand who's an outsider in India. If you're an Indian citizen, you're free to go anywhere. So that is hypocrisy at its best. But when you ask me, Navika, I also want to ask you something.
गौरव भाटिया जी, मैं हाथ जोड़ के आपसे कहती हूँ कि ममता बनर्जी को मत रिस्पॉन्ड करिए, लोगों को रिस्पॉन्ड करिए। ममता बनर्जी हिपोक्रेट है, आप उनके खिलाफ हैं, ये लोग जानते हैं। आप लोगों की ध्यान करिए, लोगों की चिंता करिए।
मैं बिल्कुल करूंगा, क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी का पहला कर्तव्य ही आम जनता की चिंता करना। So Navika, first I will answer this and then I will ask you a question. Okay. First I want to say this, that tomorrow is election commission meeting, and I am really hoping there was also a congregation was supposed to happen when we were speaking about the CBSE exam being conducted, and at that time the government showed how sensitive it is. Class 10th exams have been cancelled and class 12th exams have been postponed. Similarly, as you were talking about, the election meeting, I have no qualms in saying this is the time when priority should be alone citizens' life, and tomorrow Bharatiya Janata Party will definitely keep its views. And the power lies with the Election Commission of India. But I must also ask you, on 4th of April, there was an award night. All top channels were there, and I think including yours, and nobody was wearing a mask. So that is why I was saying responsibility.
Yes, I was there, and I think it was, though we were masked up, I completely agree, Gaurav Bhatia. Many of my colleagues possibly caught the infection at that awards night. I completely agree, and I'm willing to admit to you that was a wrong call for us to go to that awards night, and possibly we are paying the price for it. I agree. But will you agree your rallies are also creating this, and will you think about the people and not be iffy about it? Yes, will you stop being iffy about the fact that, हम देखेंगे election commission करेगा, तहसीन पूनावाला, there is a situation where Mr. Rahul Gandhi is holding rallies. इतना ज्ञान, इतना कुछ कहते हैं, और पूरा कांग्रेस का सोशल मीडिया सेल राहुल गांधी को ट्विटर पे ऊपर कर रहा है कि उनकी बातें मोदी जी की सरकार सुन रही है. So I want to ask you, तहसीन पूनावाला, he could at least, not do a rally. He hadn't done it for so many, weeks. Surfaced in Bengal just ahead of the 5th phase. He could have said कि यार नहीं आऊंगा, it is not safe for the people, but he went and he had the congregation of people and was not wearing a mask himself. I want to ask you, are rules and positions to be taken only for your opponents, or will you follow some of those rules yourself?
At the onset, ma'am, let me pay my respects to Dr. Trehan and all the doctors and nurses in our healthcare system that is fighting this internal enemy. And I just hope that journalists are treated as frontline workers and get vaccinated ASAP. Ma'am, I agree with you. All political parties need to now take a call, and I hope the Election Commission in its meeting tomorrow takes a decisive call, because something needs to be done. It will be hypocritical of me to criticize the Honorable Prime Minister and not be critical, for example, of the Congress or the TMC. That having said, ma'am, I just have 2 points to make. You've come to me after 10 minutes. I'll just be very brief. Point number 1, ma'am. You will recollect a show on which you were the host and Anand was there. I spoke about that the second wave is absolutely going to happen. Anand actually accepted that, and we were saying that the second wave would happen. The time that we lost in the vaccination, when we had the vaccines by not vaccinating people below 45, we now know that 60% of the cases are below 45. I've had to move Supreme Court, and I'm going to get a favorable order, hopefully there. That's what I believe. And point number 2, ma'am, I just want to ask a very precise question. That in the last 1 year, and we've been speaking about this, on 20th April 2020 on your show, ma'am, I spoke about Remdesivir and I spoke about PM Care Fund being made transparent. May I please ask, after a year and PM Care Fund of lakhs of crores of rupees, why do we have a shortage of beds and oxygen and medicines and vaccines?
Well, only Gaurav Bhatia can respond to the facts that why were the excess capacities wrapped up before we were through COVID? Why was Remdesivir production allowed to dip? But before I go to Gaurav Bhatia for the final word, I want to get in Mr. Suri of the restaurant. Mr. Suri, most governments, whether they are Shiv Sena, Congress, or whether they are the BJP or the Aam Aadmi Party, they find it easiest to impose restriction and curbs instead of looking at the infrastructure, which is a tougher job to do. And these restrictions then impact your lives and livelihoods. I want to ask you, do they ever think about your livelihoods?
In my opinion, we're dealing with a pandemic which has not been envisioned by anyone, and I think given the situation, we as an industry are highly affected and have been over the last 1 year, and there are sudden changes in laws and regulations that are imposed by various agencies, governments across the country have definitely affected our industry, and there is no partnership in decision making. It is diktat sort of decision making without the stakeholders being engaged with. We are obviously citizens of this country. We are members of society.
You've hit the nail on the head, and Gaurav Bhatia, that's my next debate, but that is the question I want to ask you. Remdesivir production, dips, hospital beds increased and removed before COVID ends. Don't put all the blame on the people for not following the rules. Yes, we have broken, we got complacent, but so did you. And you are in the position to govern the country, govern the states. Respond to that.
Navika, first
that is
of all,
what citizens today are asking.
I must compliment you for being so candid and taking responsibility on behalf of the media. Just the same way, I would be taking responsibility not just for the BJP, but for the political class. And absolutely, I agree with you, a lot more needs to be done. And we would ensure that we defeat this pandemic. And I have already mentioned the steps that have been taken, speaking about Uttar Pradesh. Let us not say that all politicians are enjoying their clout clause. Because Narendra Modi ji has been working 18 to 20 hours every day. Amit Shah ji, when he was positive, you are aware, was ensuring that the country gets, all the facilities that are required for different states. Yogi Adityanath ji is working.
Well, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, let's not even get into the area where there are no questions. Everybody, not just nationally but internationally, agrees that the government did great work in the first phase of dealing with the COVID situation. That's not even under discussion. We've been through those debates. Yes, the question is about the second wave. Nobody is questioning the hard work of our senior leaders, but we are questioning the anticipation of a problem and setting up enough infrastructure and solutions for the people of India. And that question will remain. The question of accountability and the question of responsibility of every single political party in allowing congregations, including election rallies, that will continue to be questioned till such time that you don't leave the decision on somebody else, but take it yourselves. Don't wait for the Election Commission. Don't wait for the courts of the country to tell you. Take that decision on your own. That's what citizens of India expect from you. Stop super spreader events. And that's the Times Now campaign. Because along with you, it is the common people who are made to flout norms and have to end up paying the price. Thank you very much to my panelists for joining me on debate number 1. Debate number 2 and the Delhi restrictions and the politics behind it on the other side.